Okay, turn the air off. Alright, here's the parts all cleaned up. So this all looks pretty good, it's not damaged. Pretty rusty down here, I have to knock that down a little bit, but there's this piece here. Doesn't look like it's really damaged anything. Screw looks good, but I haven't looked at that yet. This I went and blasted the rust off of it. Clean it all up, looks pretty good. Same here on the backstop piece. These holes go through, I'm not sure what they're for. Let's see, they go through into the bolt hole. Nice. Nice. Just where you need it to. I think somebody added these in there. And these are yeah, sure. These are jaws. They're magnetized, so I had to go demagnetize them. So, oh well. Alright, let's go check this shaft out, see how bad it is. Get some loose balls down in there. Looks like we're missing probably 2 or 3 of them. And I picked up the ones that fell down, so I don't know where the rest of them went to. So if you put this between centers in your lathe, like this, you can check it to see if it's bent. It doesn't appear to be bent. Just by eyeballing it, it looks pretty damn straight. If it was bent, you would see it. Pretty close. So if you want to know for sure, go down here, get the indicator. And put this down in here. That high spot, and you spin it. Too much tension on that. So it's within 10 thou, which is plenty adequate for this job, I'm sure. There's 20. I got 7 thou. Let's see if it's. Yeah, it's about the same. Maybe one more there. You can see how it changes as we go, but that might be my lathe. It's definitely straighter on this side. Yep. 8 thou maybe in the middle. I'm guessing that's probably production tolerance. Ooh, that hurt. I'll go down here the other end. Pretty straight down here. Alright, so we got a little bit of a out down here, but not that much. So that might be a taper down here, because it seemed to be pretty consistent. Oh, that doesn't work. Get that out of the way. Alright, let's get this down here a little ways. Let's see what we got here. Oop. 30. Okay, we got 10 thou. I'm going to turn this 180. You see that's the same number, 40. That's within 1 thou. All the way down here was 30, remember? little bit more, yeah, about 5. This time I only got 5 thou out of whack too, so yeah. I think it's adequately close. My lathe is not that good, as you can tell. It's not very straight. Okay, I am going to call that good enough. On a vise, I don't think you're going to notice a difference in that in a million years. So we're going to call that good enough. These threads, I'm sure, are more than 10 thou out of whack. So what was causing the problem? That we don't know. The next problem is what keeps this from going up and down, this vise jaw. As far as I can tell, the only thing that keeps it from moving is this dovetail cut right here. Right here where it rubs on it. I think that is the only thing that keeps it from coming up and down, which is pretty crude. So it's a big chunk of you know what. Backwards. I'm on the wrong end. Precision fitment there, nice and loose. No, I'm on the wrong side. I had it right the first time. This is on this side. You can definitely see the clearance in the ways there. Precision fit here, you can tell, give or take a yard. So we know that's very accurate. Had this thrust washer that was just sitting in here. Yep, it's got about 10 thou clearance in it too, up and down. So that means all this stuff's free to go up and down about 10 thou, which means your vise jaw can come up and down 10 thou, which means it's not accurate. Piece of crap. That's assuming the bearing was put in the correct way. So this nut here on the outside tightens down the bearing, which tightens it down to make it tight. It can still float up and down inside the vise. So how accurate is it? Not very. Now, how many chips were in these threads was our next problem. So we know this is going to be a precision fit. Oh yeah, look at that. There's almost like no clearance in that. Yeah, it's pretty tight. Oh yeah, that's precision fit. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, give or take a couple of yards. I don't think that 10 thou and runout's going to hurt me. That's only 5 thou center movement. We got more than 5 thou center movement right there. We got about 30 thou or 20 thou in there right now. So yeah, that bend wasn't anything. Now why was that wobbling when you rotated it? I have no idea. I guess I just had a bunch of chips and crap in there binding, because obviously the threads are extremely loose. Yeah. Definitely not a tight fit, that's for damn sure. Okay. Pulling chips off already. Okay, well there you go. What more did you need to know? Look at the machining on that thing. That's a big low spot there. It's called it didn't clean. This side cleaned. This side not so much. Okay. Now that hit on the inside of here, which is obviously machine surface. Sure, yeah, I believe that. Yeah, sure. So this went over here. Oh, that is hard on my thumb. And everything else. Ooh. Oh, that hurts. Okay, which way does this go? Goes like this. Okay, that's the precisionist piece I have is this right here. It's pretty tight. Yeah, they got that within a couple thou probably. Fits pretty precision. Okay, what keeps this side from raising? Ah, damn, that thumb hurts. I don't know. See, this is on the threaded part. Okay. That keeps that from rising. But there's nothing keeping the front from going up that I can see, which is a very bad thing. There's no take up here. Oh, hold on, I got it backwards. Okay, this goes into this. So this is the jaw side. Okay. It goes like this. So the clearance in this is what keeps it from going up and down, is this here. So when it tightens down, it has to push on the inside edge, but it hits here, not there. So what the hell controls the in play? We had a set screw that was in here. So I think the set screw jams it into the back of the taper, the dovetail in there. So by keeping it tight against this here, that's what holds it down. So this controls our movement. And this pushes right here. And that jams between this surface here and this surface here. That's what controls the up and down movement. And then the whole thing goes back and forth. Now what keeps this from sliding? Yeah, that's strictly that screw there does that. Okay. Alright, so you got to tighten this all up until it pulls tightly. Now this here has got rust on it, so when you come out this far it's going to get harder to move. So we need to clean this up a little bit. Alright, I think I got kind of figured out. I still don't know why this whole thing was going up and down with this, because I think it just had a bunch of chips or something in there. This is a blind hole in here, because I got a cap on the end of it. So I'm not sure what the deal was. My guess, whoever was in there last didn't adjust it correctly. That was the problem. That'll be my guess. Okay, I'm going to clean this up a little more and we'll be back.